What is happening, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. Today I've got another overused match. I am using the same team as I was in the previous video with Immunium Z. Wanted to get some more use out of these bad boys because it's a pretty fun team. But anyway, this is against Luca, and he has a pretty threatening team over there. The first things that I notice is that he does have a Greninja, which can screw up my team quite a bit considering it is faster than like everything I've got, and it hits pretty damn hard. Along with the Tapu Lele, I am pretty afraid of that thing. My team doesn't handle that very well. If it is choice specs, there's nothing really I have that can switch into an attack from that thing, let alone be able to like take more than one attack from it, other than like Porygon 2. But he's also rocking some fast threats like Weavile and the Mega Medicham. I'm guessing it's probably Mega if I'm seeing this in OU. Haven't actually gone up against too many of those things yet, but they are pretty damn powerful. But anyway, let's go ahead and just hop into the battle here. So, from looking at the team preview, I was kind of expecting him to want to lead off with his Excadrill, as he does throw out the Emo Mole, and I end up leading off with my Mamoswine yet again. So, Face Paint comes out here. This is a decent matchup for me. I can scare this thing out with Earthquake. I kind of expect it to want to set up Stealth Rock, but I don't expect it to stay in. So, I'm just going to go straight for Stealth Rock. He goes into Staraptor, expecting the potential Earthquake, and I get my Rocks up, which are looking really useful considering he does have the Weavile, and the Staraptor, who does take a toll from the Stealth Rock. So, I don't want to take an attack from this thing, and I'm like, we're going to take this shit to the sky. So I go ahead and throw out my own bird. I'm a little pointier and in yellow and shit, so I bring out Big Bird, as he ends up just going for a U-turn, which is a good play on his end. It is going to allow him to get up whatever matchup he wants against my Zapdos. So he's actually just going to switch right back into the Excadrill, and I expect this thing to probably want to just set up Stealth Rock, considering he did lead off with it. It's probably his Stealth Rocker, so I'm feeling kind of safe leaving Zapdos in for at least a turn here, and I do have Heat Wave, so I can hit this thing pretty hard. So I do decide to stay in here, expecting the Stealth Rock, and I'm going to go ahead and eat a little bit of leftovers. I'm still like full HP, so I'm looking pretty damn solid. He does end up going for the Stealth Rock, which is fine by me. I do have Defog on the Zapdos, but it's looking like I'm just going to keep him around because the Stealth Rocks on his end are going to be really helpful for me. So I go for the Heat Wave. It does a shit ton of damage to that thing, and that is pretty damn perfect. So now I'm sitting here looking at this matchup. I know that his best option is to just go for a Rock Slide probably, and considering I'm at full HP and I'm bold max defense, I should be able to take at least one and then be able to finish off the Excadrill. But he's going to go ahead and just predict the Heat Wave and switch right into his Shiny Greninja, looking pretty badass. And so here I ran a couple damage calcs. I figured out that if this Greninja isn't Life Orb, I should potentially be able to live an Ice Beam. So I decided to risk it here. He's going to go ahead and switch to the Ice type, goes for the Ice Beam. Zapdos actually ends up living it with 36 HP, and a Heat Wave is going to be able to take this thing out considering it just turned into the Ice type. So I predicted it to go for the Ice Beam. Turned out Zapdos was able to live it, which is actually perfect, and down goes the Greninja. That thing is out of the way, and that was a big threat that I was pretty damn worried about. So that is freaking awesome. Now he's going to switch into old Nipple Knee out here, and he's going to get hurt by a little bit of Stealth Rock, and he is going to Mega Evolve, so he does have the Mega Medicham. I haven't really used one of these things yet, but they do seem pretty damn interesting to play with. He's actually going to end up going for the Fake Out here. I decided just to leave my Zapdos in because I didn't really have any hard switches that I wanted to risk. So I leave Zapdos in. I actually live a Fake Out with 1 HP. And I was really wishing that this was actually a static Zapdos. I could have had the chance to get a paralysis off on that thing. Had it, you know, if they make contact on a static Pokemon, you could have a chance to get paralysis. But you can't actually get a defog Zapdos with static, which kind of sucks. Not really too big of a deal though, as this allows me to bring in my Easter egg, and I knew that these things carry Thunder Punch, but for some reason I switched this thing in thinking he wouldn't have it. I don't know, but he goes for the Thunder Punch. That is actually going to take me out. I figured I might be able to live it. I don't know, I'm max HP, but it turns out Azumarill dies, and there goes a pretty useful Pokemon on my end. So I lose Azumarill, but this does allow me to switch right into my Mew, which is pretty awesome, as I can scare this thing out with a Dazzling Gleam. He makes a nice play, and he's just going to switch right into his Tapu Lele. Takes a bit of Stealth Rock, gonna bring out the old Psychic Surge, which actually ends up helping me, which is kind of cool. So the battlefield's all weird now, and the Dazzling Gleam actually does a solid chunk to that thing, so that's cool. And I know I'm gonna be faster than this thing, so my only plan here to be able to take this out is to just bust out the old Immunium Z. So the Genesis Supernova is about to come out full force, and like I've said before, I would not want to be on the receiving end of this shit right here. I bring out the fucking power of the DNA within me. Look at that shit all swirling. Turn it into a ball and just huck it right at that thing's face, which is pretty damn awesome. So that is an unfortunate Tapu Lele right there, and that thing is going to go down. So that is a solid threat out of the way. Good to see that thing go down. As I know that I didn't want to set up Nasty Plots just because he does have this Weavile, but as I was sitting here thinking about it, his best dark move against me is probably Knockoff, and considering I do have a Z Crystal, he's not going to be able to get my item off, therefore not getting the maximum power from that. So I decided to stay in. I actually end up living it with 14 HP, which is insane, and that allows me to fire off a Dazzling Gleam in return, which will take care of the Weavile. So Mew is just doing her Mew thing, honestly just kicking ass. Mew's probably one of my favorite legendaries, honestly. Especially the shiny version of this shit's all blue. It's like cotton candy out here on the pink battlefield. I love it. But now he brings up the Staraptor, and that thing is faster than me, and I don't want to risk a switch, so I just decided to let Mew go down, as a U-turn will take me out. The good news about going down to a U-turn is that you can bring in whatever you want against their Pokemon. So he brings out the Excadrill, and this is going to allow me to just go straight into my Mega Pinsir, just because I know close combat should be able to take this thing out. He's over there eating leftovers by himself. He's like, where the fuck is everybody? I joined the party, and there's just nobody out here, but Pinsir is about to go ahead and shit on your parade as I bring this thing out, and I'm going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. The bad news about the Psychic Surge on the battlefield is just that I can't go for Quick Attack, but really doesn't matter. Obviously, I wouldn't go for that against the Excadrill, but for later on, it might be a little bit bad, but I go for the close combat. It is going to take care of the Excadrill, and that is a dead-ass mole. So he's down to 2 Pokemon. His last 2 are the Mega Medicham and the Staraptor. So those are 2 kind of scary things that I've got to try to play pretty safely to get around. So I do know that I want to keep Mega Pinsir around for the Mega Medicham, and it's looking like a Quick Attack wouldn't be able to take care of the Staraptor here after running damage calcs. So I do switch out Pinsir here, and I'm just going to go straight into Face Paint. I know that he's probably going to want to go for the Brave Bird, so my plan was just to kind of sack off Mamoswine here, just to get it to the point where the recoil will bring it to the point where Quick Attack should be able to finish off the Staraptor. So the Brave Bird actually doesn't end up killing Face Paint, and this is when I wish that I had Ice Shard, but this is actually a Mamoswine that doesn't have Ice Shard. I don't know why I didn't put it on it, but that could have been helpful there. I swear, every other Mamoswine I have has Ice Shard, but this one doesn't for some reason. But anyway, he is going to knock himself down to the point where I should be able to take it out with Quick Attack, but then I'm like, you know what, I still have this Porygon 2, I'm just going to go ahead and use this bad boy. He's going to have to end up just going for the Brave Bird to get as much damage as possible. I know that he does still have that Medicham anyway, but I just brought out Virus just to kind of play it safe here, as he's actually just going to go for a Brave Bird. He is going to kill himself with the recoil. I really should have just clicked Recover there. I think that would have been my best play, seeing as he just killed himself, but I just go ahead and Thunderbolt the air, as that's not going to do a damn thing. But his last Pokemon is the Medicham, so he brings this thing out. It's all looking all zen and shit with his weird little floaty ribbons, and he is going to be able to finish me off with a high jump kick. But I do still have Mega Pinsir, and it all comes down to if a Quick Attack will be able to take care of this this thing with the nipples on his knees. So I bring out Dick Pinch, ready to pinch some shit, and let's see if this happens. So Stealth Rock does a shit ton to me, obviously because I'm bug flying, and I go for the Quick Attack. And it's looking like that is going to be able to take this thing out. It actually gets a critical hit, but I do not think that mattered. Medicham does go down, though, and that was a pretty freaking close match. That was a pretty interesting one. Definitely a relatively quick match there, but thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Go ahead and hit that like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe for some more Wi-Fi battles. Peace out.